All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Film Hustlers.
Boom.
My name is Mark Roberts. I'm a filmmaker, have been for a lot of years. We got a filmmaker over here, Rod Tootie Rinks, makes movies, creates verticals, does it all. And then Davey Dave. Poke your head in, Davey.
Davey Dave on the ones and twos.
Davey Dave
There he
hooking
is.
it up right
Boom.
there. Also,
There's our guest back there.
and then we have Clay Epstein, distributor extraordinaire. He's been doing it for how many years now, Clay?
I had to stop and think there for a minute.
30 years?
Graduated film school in '99 and went to work right after.
Okay, that's awesome. So now that I have you all worked up, let's talk about this.
Calm it down.
If you're a young filmmaker, the way we were at one point, think about yourself before you were as tainted as you are now.
Do I have to go back that far?
Just go back 30 years and think about you're a young filmmaker living today. Like, what is the most important sort of first step? Let's say you do go out and raise money from, people that believe in you, and you get yourself $100,000. What would you advise someone to do so that they can either find their superpower in that, and also get eyes on it, be like, oh, that's interesting. That's, get people to notice what you're doing. Like, is it a genre? Is it editing? Is it all of it?
Well, the reason I got into distribution and marketing and more executive producing spaces because I don't think I had the talent. Talent has to be born talent, and then if you have that born talent, you work hard to then hone the talent. But I do believe in born talent. I do believe athletes, whatever, anything in the world, math, you have to be born with this ability that then you build upon and you hone and become an expert.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a filmmaker. I did have stories and ideas that I wanted to tell, or I felt I had to tell. But I don't think I had that raw talent you're born with to be a filmmaker. I didn't have the patience. I didn't have that natural ability to have something in my head and get it out on the screen. Yeah, I just didn't have that natural ability that some filmmakers just naturally have. But I went through the process to try. And luckily I came to the conclusion that I did find another area in the industry that has afforded me the capability to still be creative, to be collaborative, to make films, but to work with other people that are more talented than I am in the areas where I don't have as much talent, right?
Yeah, and you've done really well, and I know a lot of filmmakers that respect you and appreciate what you do.
But if I had
for
to go
them.
back and have that talk with the 20-year-old...
Yeah, what would you say?
With the 20-year-old Clay, God help him. He was working for you.
I was about to say,
Roberts.
I know that.
You would throw the keys at him. Here you're damn.
Before you fired my ass.
We had great talks.
We had a great talk.
Yeah.
Saying they'll
But
die.
That's why I got fired,
my
'cause I
ass.
was- 'cause I
Still
was talking
fired
to him
my
too
ass. I think the young filmmakers that have this ability to make something commercially driven as their first calling card, that it's not a drama, that it's not a little quirky comedy with no one in it about characters people can't relate to, that it's not so insular from their world, right? Everyone tells them, again, is the narrative, write what you know, make what you know, stick to what you know. You can argue that. You can argue that that's the right thing to do at all times. When you're writing a script, you need to put things in there that you know. But if I had to go have that conversation with myself at 20 years old, I would probably say, you know what? Wait till you're successful to go do that comedy or to go do that quirky, whimsical fantasy film that you want to do. Right now, go make 5 minutes of a little action sequence. Or make 5 minutes or 10 minutes of a thriller or a mystery or something. Really show the world you know how to build suspense, and you know how to set up a scene, and you know how to create a little action sequence. That's going to really strike people's interest. That's going to show the world that you can handle commerciality and bring a fresh perspective on it. And freshly, I was at my university showcase last night. I wanted to go back and see some of the senior theses, and a lot of talent in that room. I was very impressed. I really was. But there was one film, and now I'm talking about it openly, I suppose. You have listeners on this podcast?
Yes.
We got a lot.
Great.
Millions.
No, I was very impressed. I was very proud of this one, of all of them, but this one filmmaker in particular that had talent. He just had the fucking talent.
Did you sign him right there?
I'm
$1 million
gonna
contract? Boom.
call my old professor. I'd like to meet him or take him to lunch and just.
nice.
You could tell he had the talent. He was able. You could tell that he had a vision in his head, and he got it out. And when he got out on screen, it worked.
Yeah.
It wasn't inconsistent. It wasn't tonally inconsistent. It worked. He had the camera movement working, and it was comedy, but it was really funny, and it was visual and with language, and it was relatable, and anyone seeing that to me, I'm sure this is going to be a good calling card for him, maybe to get some representation, maybe to get an opportunity to write a script, because that was true representation of what he's capable of, right? These are undergrad films that probably cost 30 grand or 30,
Features
40
or
grand.
shorts?
Shorts, 15 minutes.
Shorts do a lot. Now, as we're talking about today's world, everything that goes on Instagram is sort of a short, right? And it's not cinematic all the time, but there's your ability to, like, for instance, what we talk about all the time on the show, and we talk about at home all the time, is the coffee shop thing.
Brooklyn Coffee Shop.
Extremely well written,
Production
remarkably.
value
In
is
fact, I would say that the best thing about it, like if there was a measure, it would be like 90% is the writing and the delivery of those lines. And it's a great show, and there's only 2 shots. The shot this way and the shot this way, and that's all it is.
Talent. Would you say that's
But
talent?
it's 100%
talent, execution.
Yeah.
I had a film years ago. I was executive producing a film, and it was a new filmmaker out of film school. I think it was a grad school. I think, if I remember correctly. But he'd come out of grad film school. And they gave him a shot. The production company gave him a shot, and he had a manager that was helping him out. And they go off and make this film and they had some cast in it. I can't remember if I saw dailies or not. I can't remember. I was trying to remember. But they sent me an assembly. It was unwatchable.
Wow.
I was not watchable. And I remember calling the producers. I said, I'm just, I have a responsibility, a fiduciary responsibility to you as your sales agent and executive producer. This film it's not watchable. If you continue down this path and you finish the film in this version, we won't be able to sell it anywhere because there's no cohesiveness. The story's all over the place. It looks like a student film.
Jesus, Clay, I'm starting to sweat over here.
I know.
So I said, and again, but you have to be honest with
You do. Yeah, you do.
So the producers were smart, and they had this money on the line, and they didn't want it. They said, "Okay, what do you suggest?" I said, "I think you need to bring on an editor. I think maybe you want to give that editor one more chance, but I don't think this version shows that the editor is capable even of putting something together. Right? They don't have the experience to do it. I was an inexperienced editor, inexperienced director.
Yeah.
So I said, I think you need to hire an experienced editor because I think the footage is there, but you need someone who really knows what they're doing to put it all together. So I worked with them to bring on a new editor, and they took it down to scratch, and we worked on it, and I gave them ideas, and we talked about different ways to approach this, because while the footage was there wasn't an enormous amount of coverage. So there weren't a lot of opportunities to cut away or to do an insert, right, or to cover mistakes or to cover bad shots. And I remember getting on the phone with the filmmaker, and I said, look, I'm going to send you 20 shots you have to go get. It's like, well, we've wrapped. I said, no, you got to go get these shots. Get an iPhone and go out on the weekend in LA and just get the shots. You don't have to start getting crew. Like, this is just how you do it. No one's going to know that it was 3 guys in a gas station getting a shot of a pump.
Yeah.
Get the shots.
Yeah.
And he did. To his credit, he went out, and we got an insert of a gas pump and an insert of a wheel screeching, and we needed some B-roll. He didn't have any B-roll.
Yeah.
And the editor worked on it for, 3-4 months and put something together. And it ended up being pretty good with the sound effects and the color correcting and the cuts. And we we kept referring to the Mission Impossible 3, which is the best one, J.J. Abrams.
It's amazing.
It opens up on Tom Cruise tied to a chair with Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's just brilliant. And that's how we started the movie, with the middle at the beginning, and then how do you get there, you know? And that helped us with cheating around lack of footage and lack of coverage. Filmmaker gets a gig to go shoot some TV series for David Blum.
Nice.
And now he's huge.
Yeah, for Blumhouse.
Well,
you're Jason Blum. You
sort of became an old school executive, really. Like you were like Carl Lemley.
Like a head of production.
Yeah, you were head of production at Universal, like going like, this isn't going to work. We're going to have to like, and you jump into an editing bay. Not
you have to push.
Exactly,
you have to. Yeah. You always have to. And again, I've learned this. I didn't know this at the beginning. You learn through trial and error, and you learn through suffering and panic.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid to push. You can't be afraid to
be honest.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Right? How you communicate that is part of your ability to be a good executive or be a good producer. Mark knows that, I'm sure. But you can't be afraid to be honest. You can't be afraid to push. Because in the end, all the audience sees is the movie.
Yeah.
Because the movie doesn't have, in the credits, well, Clay had a conversation with that person, and then that person had a conversation, and then they had an argument, and then that person stopped calling back, and then they decided to do this, and they took their name off it. That's not in the credits in the end. No. The backstory's not there. They just see a movie, and is the movie good or is the movie not good? Yeah. Enjoyable, entertaining, or not?
That's the fun part about independent film, though, because like when
That's the fun part?
Well, when I did Made in Mexico, we were shooting B-roll, and Lilo stayed in character, and they said, because Ron Lee was directing, and so he said, just walk around over here, and we just want, and so him and I just had conversation, like we were both loved, and he stayed in character, and he was just saying outlandish shit, and I just kind of agreed with him. Right. We just stayed in that because it was all supposed to be B-roll. We used all that. Yeah. It was it was some of the best part of the movie.
Well, that's what Rich Alarcon did. He
he found that, and again, Rich Alarcon's a great editor. You know, he took that.
And I think not as a director, you need to push as well.
Yeah.
Right? You need to have the confidence and the ability, because you always have a line producer and a producer telling you you don't have any more time.
Yeah.
We have no more money. The camera, the lenses have gone back to the rental. You know, they broke this and that. But again, all that people are going to be left with is how good that film is in the end.
That's it.
And you got to do everything you possibly can to make the film the best version of itself.
Yeah.
That's the collaboration, though.
That's collaboration.
That's a truth sandwich, y'all.
The most collaborative filmmakers I worked with, Ernesto. Man, we did
Who's
Diablo.
Ernesto?
We should put it. Can you put stuff in the comments or the
probably
like a description? We can.
Yeah. Sure.
Ernesto, he directed Diablo with Scott Adkins and Marco Zerwar that I produced with Craig Baumgarten. I mean, it was a thrill for me to work with a legend like Craig and Scott and really great talent. Ernesto's a Chilean filmmaker, and the most collaborative and confident and easy to work with and open for comments and open for discussion and trying different things. Never had an ego. And we're down there in the jungles of Colombia.
Jesus, Clay.
Hard jungle, man. I barely made it out. And there was drone camera, there was an A camera, B camera, but we were on a scrappy budget, but we managed to cobble all this together. And I was so impressed by how open Ernesto was. The film came first.
Yeah.
And his, quote unquote, credit as director came second.
Yeah.
Right. And he edited the film as well. And the editing process was collaborative. You give him notes. Let me try it. Yeah. Let me try this. Let me try that. He'd said, "Oh, I'm emailing you 2 versions. I'm gonna email you the version of that fight sequence with this note and that note, and a version without doing this. Let's pick which one's best." And it was a real collaborative effort because the greatness of the film came first.
Yeah.
And the film ended up doing pretty well. Number 3, number 3 on Amazon when it came out. Good reviews all around. We sold it everywhere in the world. That was a great experience because he was such a collaborative professional.
Yeah. Did you make the money back?
The film just about that model was we just about broke even. Everyone made their fee.
Yeah.
No one made $1 more.
Right.
But it was yes and no.
If you break
No one
even, it's a
made
success.
a lot of money on that movie, but no one lost money on that
Then
movie, and
that's a
that's a
success.
win.
That's a win.
That's
That's
a
a
win.
win.
So
That's a win.
we're covering a lot of ground here. So I think that definitely you need to consider what you're putting out and figure out a way to show your talent in a much smaller way, so that you can figure out if there is talent or if someone's responding to your story.
There's more opportunities.
There's more opportunities, but if you do it in a smaller version, you can also test the market on ideas, right? Because you can't, like, I like the Karate Kid, but I'm not going to make the Karate Kid today just because I like the Karate Kid, right? It was a success. Like, should I make a Karate Kid today just because I liked it back then?
I'd love to sell a Karate Kid movie. Hey,
Well, good. I got one for you. My friend just made one.
Cobra Kai did very
We
well
did
as a
a
series.
jiu-jitsu movie
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago. Me and Davey are in it.
Dave starred in.
But
I
there's
love that.
more. But the challenges we had, Mark, when we were at the beginning of our careers,
yeah.
is the cost, the literal financial cost to entry was very high, right? It was a very high. You needed money for film and film camera and film developing. And then you needed a professional editor that knew how to literally cut film or work on a $100,000 Avid machine, and the tools were just expensive, and you needed skilled people to work them. And now the tools are so accessible.
It's right here. This is the tool.
And with AI, you can do VFX, text to video, and you have VFX. And so there's no longer a gatekeeper, a financial or skill that's going to keep people away. So it opens it up to everybody.
Is that good for you though, right? A distributor?
I don't know. I mean, again, we're all looking for where the talent is, right? But if someone is talented or has this goal or this hunger, this desire and hunger, they at least have the tools at their disposal.
Yeah, it's not far.
Right?
It's not far fetched anymore.
Yeah,
you could actually do it.
Well, let's take a break from this for a second and talk about extrememusic.com.
I was going to bring that up. Diablo, did he use it?
Well, yeah, did Diablo use extrememusic.com?
I know I told him about it.
You did? Okay, good. As long as you told them.
I definitely did.
Extrememusic.com, best music library in the business. I'm going to be using them very soon on my Christmas movie in June. And I just want to say, today, yesterday, and tomorrow, it is absolutely the best place to find whatever it is that you're looking for. Make sure I look okay for your movies, for any of your content. They are amazing. We want to thank them for their partnership and for their sponsorship. And go check them out, extrememusic.com. Also, don't forget about the library. The problem with the library is, first of all, there's no problem. It's beautiful. It's this awesome cigar place, but you can't find it.
What do you mean you can't? Well, no, because
he doesn't want you to find it. He doesn't want you to find it.
No, that's the whole point.
We're going to advertise it, but it's a secret.
It's like social. You go on their IG. Listen, go on their IG. And you'll be able to find it. Trust me. But
I love it here. I'm never going to leave.
It's like
Vic ain't getting rid of me.
No, it's like an old school like social club.
Yeah.
It's it's invite only or membership only.
But thanks to Vic for hosting us here and
Yeah.
letting us infiltrate and have conversations about movies and
We got to start smoking cigars.
stuff like that. Yeah, we
should
really
have done
should.
this one.
We
'Cause
should
I know,
have.
But Robert says he gets too loopy.
I get too loopy, like when I used to
He's
drink
loopy
tequila
already.
all the time.
Yeah, those were good times too.
But this is a great conversation. I mean, look, it's hard, Clay, because you and I go back a long way, and there was a time, like, my superpower was I wanted to make movies, but I was only good at one thing, and that was raising money. I was very good at raising money. I wasn't really a filmmaker at that point. I was just someone who could convince other people to give me money to do movies. I had Lorena, who was my partner, and everyone else sort of did most of the creative stuff. And I was always just raising money. And I did a very good job of it for many, many years. Tens of millions of dollars I raised for movies. If I tried today, I probably couldn't do it anymore because there's no way to guarantee people their money back. There wasn't back then, but you could make a Blockbuster deal. You could make a Hollywood video deal. We could go with you to a market and make $175,000 bucks. It could happen. It was happening back then, But my gift was raising money, and I knew that. So I did that for a long time. When I eventually realized that I had to add my creative side to it, everything changed for me, right? Because I was able to translate all that and everything I had learned from other filmmakers on how to do it and what to do, and and it really served me. So I was able to, through my career, learn to do different things, and I eventually became a filmmaker.
Is that
Do
when
it
you
all.
started driving the director to set so you could kind of influence?
Well,
When he said that, I thought he meant is driving him crazy, or,
No.
or
I
think
literally
he was driving him
driving him
crazy.
to set.
But
No,
he-
I let people do what they do. I tell you what, the types of films that I make at this point in my career, I definitely just need you to get the
Coverage.
medium over the shoulder, and then you can do whatever you want. Because I know that a lot of people aren't criticizing that in television or Christmas. When I did my Netflix movie, I had to have a lot of sweeping shots. I had to have a lot of cranes out. I had I had to tell the story differently because it was a different budget and they're expecting something different. But if you're working under $3 million,
have fun.
you just have to you have to get your shots and then have some fun.
Over
We have a new film that's probably going to come out next year that's shooting in Australia called Tarantulas. You know what it's about?
Tarantulas.
You're right.
Do they get into the house or into an airplane or something?
No, this is tarantulas in the jungles of Australia.
Oh wow.
in the
and they're-
jungles of
So
America.
is it VFX? Is it
big
AI?
honking. So it's going to be a combination, right? And a lot of the VFX now everywhere are kind of, some of it's generated from AI. Then they're using more traditional compositing and VFX tools to then color and texture and move and animate them. But the footage we've seen, the tests of them look fantastic.
What's working? So is horror, thriller?
Yeah, what is
like,
working today? That's a good question.
action? Is it the
The easiest in the independent space, at least, maybe even the studio space, is action films still. I mean, we've been saying that from the beginning of time.
right?
Not cheap action necessarily, not cheap.
Does
crap
Frank
movies.
Zagarino still move the needle?
But action films that are still
Claude Van.
that are
Claude Van Damme.
competently made, and you have good cast and you have good setups and concepts. Scott Adkins is at the moment probably the biggest action star at the moment, right? Because some of the ones before him have aged out,
Yeah.
and there hasn't been a lot of big studio opportunities for the newer stars. Louis Tan is up, and he's in Mortal Kombat. We're going to try and do a film with him. He's in the new Mortal Kombat film. And
Tom Cruise still an action star, right?
He's
Or is
still
he,
He's
yeah,
a
but I
huge
can't
star.
get him into an independent film.
you
That's
never know.
right.
You never know. Tom, you there?
So
Talk to my guy.
if somebody is watching anywhere in the world right now and they want to sell you a movie, or they want you to represent their movie all
Yeah.
over the world for sales, what would be like your number one genre?
They should go to our YouTube page and subscribe.
All right. What is
There
it?
we go.
What is the YouTube
Which
page?
is Film Mode Ent, or at Film Mode Ent, Film
At
Mode
Film-
Entertainment, Film Mode Entertainment on
Film
YouTube.
Mode Ent. I don't know where you
Film Mode-
came up with Film Mode Ent, but Film Mode, right? Is it two M's?
Film 2M's,
Okay.
Film Mode Entertainment's the
That's
company.
like Lloyd.
You look that up on YouTube. You subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Okay.
We're trying to build
Go check them out.
subscribers.
Go check
And
them
we
out.
have trailers. We have panels that I've moderated. We have clips from films. And you will see the genres that we're doing. See how I tied that together?
Do you have BTS
Wait.
of when you worked with
No,
him?
there was no BTS
Right,
back then.
the unreleased
Hey,
tapes.
can I put any of your talks up on our website?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. We could extend this. We could do 2 episodes out of it and use some of his
Yeah,
stuff.
sure. Because I'm going to put clips up on our
So you didn't
YouTube.
answer the question. What can they bring?
Well, I was
you?
trying to get around to our YouTube site without sounding
All right, good.
too
No,
douchey.
I love
was
I
good.
love
It
it. So they could,
YouTube
but
channel.
it's action. It's action.
But the easiest, most commercial is action. After that, it's probably varying degrees of horror.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the horror has to be, because the audience has become very sophisticated, and therefore our distributors and clients have become very sophisticated and very selective. And so the horror has to truly have a vision and have a hook and have
And that's hard to do because a lot of
very
great,
hard.
great, a
And
lot
be-
of great horror
and be visual and be same but different,
Yeah.
right? Which is easy to say, but no one knows what that means. But
Megan.
it's same
Have
but
you-
different.
Have you ever picked up a movie that costs $10,000 or less?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. Have you ever picked up a movie that costs $50,000 or less?
I think I've probably sold a movie that cost like 150 or 120.
Okay, 150, 120. How'd it do?
Well, not great.
Not great,
But
okay.
you know, it's hard because it's hard to get production value.
Is there a sweet spot for independent filmmakers? 500, 2 million? Like, what is it? What's the sweet spot?
I've seen and I've represented some pretty good movies that were that 750, 650.
Okay.
But it's when the filmmakers have an added value of some sort, like maybe they're VFX guys, they go make a movie.
Got it.
Or they're friends with a particular celebrity that's going to do it for free or for scale, or you know.
Yeah.
So they're adding some additional value that normally would cost quite a lot more. And if they didn't have that, maybe the film would be $1.5 million or 2 or 3. But they could do it for 650 because of these added. They own the camera. He's also an editor.
I like the VFX angle, though.
Right,
I like
yeah,
that. That's
yeah.
kind of cool. Or the action
They
angle,
have
right?
they own the stage, or they own the set, or they own the location.
Yeah.
They have the camera. I did a film with Mel Gibson's sons, and I don't know what they spent, but I'm guessing they spent under $1 million. But it was great because the one son's wife was a fantastic actress. She was the lead. Milo Gibson, who's the brother of the director, was the other lead. You know, they went out.
I think I heard of this.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good film, and they were great to work with. They were great,
And
really nice.
You made some money for them?
I did the best I could.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good.
It was a few years ago. I can't remember the numbers, but we did the
decent.
best we could.
I did hear about.
Yeah.
Oh, they came to Extra.
Oh, did
Promote
they?
their movie.
Oh, yeah. I think I was there.
Yeah, that's
I think
right.
I was there.
No wonder. Yeah,
Hang
Mel
on.
Gibson's son.
Hang on, though. You know what I just watched? I watched a documentary about the making of what's the Keanu Reeves movie?
John Wick.
Yeah, I saw I saw a documentary about the making of John Wick.
All stunt guys.
Well, yeah, but the stunt guys were making like $2 million movies before they did John Wick.
So Marco Zerrar.
Is that him?
In John Wick 4, the right-hand man to Skarsgård, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a very tall Latino martial artist,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in almost every scene, kicking the shit out of everyone. That's Marco, the nicest.
Oh, wait a minute. Is he the guy that like he's over here, then he's over there, then different scenes? Like they keep moving the camera, but it's still him?
That I can't remember. He was just the right-hand heavy.
Yeah.
And he's the sweetest guy in the world. And he's a choreographer. He's a stunt choreographer. He's 8'5". I mean, Marco is a
Huge
beast, and he's so dedicated to his craft. He really approaches his craft like an artist, and he's a choreographer. So on Diablo, him and Scott choreographed the fights together. We didn't have to go hire additional fight choreographers. You know, we had stunt doubles on set for dangerous stuff, but other than that, Marco and Scott did all their own stunts because they come from that space, and Marco comes from that world.
So that makes it great.
It elevates it again. That's added. It elevates it to a production value that equates to hundreds of thousands, if not more, that we didn't have to go actually pay for because of the ingredients of the film.
I love the John Wick doc because those guys were making indie films, making small movies, but they had like this vision of how an action sequence can happen.
Marco is an artist.
Remarkable, yeah.
Marco Zerrar is an artist.
I love
when
that.
he choreographs, it's like it's a different form of dancing, really.
All right.
When you think about it.
So
that way,
Sylvester Stallone did it in Rocky, but let's just say if you're out there making movies, 500,000 to 750 is a good little spot, like a sweet spot, and finding those added values. Someone who's like dedicated their life to action sequences that haven't quite made it, but you know that they're onto something. Getting them to help you make your movie. There's things like that could become added value for you. Like Keanu, love those guys, obviously. And if it wasn't for Keanu,
but
like
even
who
like
knows?
Guy Narduli,
Yeah,
he made that movie that just came out, that action movie. I forget what it's called, but and it wasn't a lot of money. He made it for hundreds of thousands.
Mm-hmm.
And he shot it in his hometown. It was, he got everything for free. Location, street, all that. So it was value.
He hustled,
and it just opened up, and it did pretty well, I think.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean I'm a big proponent of film school, not just because I went to film school. I truly believe.
It lets you practice.
I believe in education.
Yeah.
And I believe in it's
like
a
my
wonderful
wife.
it's a wonderful environment to start networking.
Yeah.
Because a lot of new filmmakers or people that want to get into filmmaking, they always hear the network. I have to network. Everything says I have to network. How do I network? I don't live in LA. I don't live in New York. I don't live in London.
Yeah.
You know, how do I network? How do I start meeting VFX supervisors?
Tell us about what is
going to
important
film
to
school.
you.
You're going to start networking.
But tell us about your mom and the foundation and that stuff.
Oh, thanks for the opportunity, Mark. Yeah, so my mother was a teacher. She was a principal for special needs students in Glendale. It was a very special school that there was only one within 50 miles or something like that. So she had students from LA and from Glendale and from Burbank up to the age of 18, I think. And it was vocational. It was included a lot of different, but these students couldn't go to traditional school. And she was the principal of this school. And before that, she taught gifted students. She was a fourth grade teacher. So she really believed in education. And she passed away from Lewy body dementia a few years ago. So someone that was all about academia and brains and, you know, a very smart woman and well-read and into politics and lots of English accent shows, unfortunately gets dementia, right? And you start losing your mental capacity. And so I wanted to find some way to keep her memory alive and her passion for education. And we're starting a scholarship at Cal State Northridge in the film program.
Great.
And it's called the Nancy Joan Epstein New Voices Scholarship. And it's going to go into effect, I think this year, or for students going to go into their senior year, because that's when they make their senior thesis film.
That's great.
And they have to contribute, I think, $1,500 to the program if they want to be in the production division. And that $1,500 can sometimes be a lot for some of these students at CSUN, right? A lot of them are working.
Yeah.
A lot of them are on scholarships already.
Mm.
And I wanted something that would help students not have to worry about that gateway,
Yeah.
right? That's a financial gateway, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to go to those students to be able to, they don't have to need financial aid, but that's certainly a plus.
That's awesome.
And we're like agnostic on story. I said to the professors, I said, it may be the only time in their whole career that they don't have to do a particular genre or story, you know, where they have artistic freedom. The last thing I want to do is burst that bubble now, right? So
don't do it.
Whatever they want to do, I'm not choosing stories. I'm not curating scripts. I trust the school to do that.
That's good. And what's the name of the program again?
It's the Cal State. It's Cal State Northridge,
Yeah.
CSUN,
And then
it's the film
scholarship.
program, and the scholarship's called the Nancy Joan Epstein New Voices.
Oh, well, that's awesome that
Thank
you're
you.
doing that for your mom. That's cool. And that you're helping out
Yeah,
young
thank you.
filmmakers. Northridge is an amazing hub for super talent.
It is.
Not only did you come from there, but so did Paul Buccieri, who's
Yeah.
the CEO and president of A&E Networks. I can name a bunch of people,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to name him because he's one of the very successful guys. Sam Zoda, who actually ran a lot of shows at ABC. A lot of great people.
They have
out
great
of there.
resources there now.
Yeah.
They have state-of-the-art Dolby Atmos mixing, and they have, you know, red cameras. They get lenses from, you know, Zeiss gives them lenses. They have stages. They have a digital stage now.
Oh, the LED wall? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. I want to
It's
shoot on
amazing.
an LED wall for my next movie. I'll tell you about it afterwards. But anyway, dude, thanks for being here. I feel bad because I was going to attack you, and then you
But
attacked first. So
You love me though, Mark.
hard
But
to
he
go-
attacked me because I told him about self.
I did attack you, didn't I? I didn't mean to, but I did. I got very
Look,
I got very
it's-
worked up, passionate.
But you know what?
I was just
passionate.
asking a question.
I'm still, after all these years, we're still passionate about
That's
it.
You know
good.
what's
There's still
important?
fire.
What's important about the show, if you're still here, is that this is a truth sandwich. We have a lot of fun on the show. We talk a lot about a lot of stuff, but this show is a truth sandwich. You really need to think about what you're doing and putting out there, and if it's serving you or not, and if it will serve you in the future. Because you got to decide where you want to go. And, you know, if you think about anywhere you end up, it's got one road. You know, you got to turn right, you got to turn left, you got to go straight. You got to decide where you're going and where you want to end up. See yourself in the future. If you're making action films in the future, then you know what your life's supposed to look like, right? So figure out what you're doing. Go to Clay only if you have talent. And you know, I mean, look, keep hustling. I think we talked a lot about that, and I think that's like a key point to this, is that you got to keep believing yourself, hustling and growing. So keep shooting, keep figuring out what to do, ask yourself, are you adding extra value to what you're producing or directing or writing? Or is it just words? Or is it just an idea? Has someone already done it? I mean, there's so many questions. Ask AI, for God's sakes.
Everything's Ask AI.
Ask AI. But anyway, Clay, you're awesome. I'm not kidding. Well-respected distributor. People speak great things about you. Every time I mention your name, people like you. People think you're honest. So I'm not sure why. We've known each other for 30 years. We haven't made a movie together, but that's how it goes.
He's honest.
That's how it goes. I don't like honest people. I want people to be ripping the
sandwich.
1% rule. 1%
rule. But when you come back, and things are changing so much in the business, come back.
I'm
in a few
honored.
months. Yeah.
And grateful to have been asked back.
Yeah, absolutely. You're important.
And I appreciate that. And then congratulations on the 6 years of the show.
And going video, man. We're on video now. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time on Film Hustlers.